What an episode, man. I'm straight off the bat. When I mean I'm straight off the bat, I'm talking about it just ended in front of me and I came straight onto the camera to give you a review. Marvel Secret Invasion episode 5 entitled The Harvest. And yeah, man. Hey, listen, weird episode. I'm gonna give you the breakdown of how I felt about the episode. I thought the pacing was decent at times in this, and it was a little bit off, but I'm trying to gather my thoughts and say, was it because I was enjoying it so much or so intrigued that the time went by really fast and it just got to the end? Because I didn't expect it to just, you know what I mean? So I think the pacing, but I do think the pacing was off and it switched to like different stories too quick, but it all encompassed in one thing in this. So obviously we saw off the last episode, Talos was stabbed in the chest. This is what confused me in this episode, and someone might have to comment below. While I was watching this, when it started with Talos being on the, oh no, it didn't. Oh, it's my bad. I take it back. I just remembered something. The person who was on the hospital bed at the beginning in the emergency was the president, and Nick Fury told him, "Don't trust Rhodey." And in my head, while I was watching it, I was like, "Why did we just see Talos on the bed?" But then we saw a scene with Grava talking about, what's her name? Is it Gaia? Her talking about her dad being dead at a funeral. It's because it wasn't her dad. So my bad on that one. Anyway, Talos is dead. You know what I mean? The president's not dead, and there's growing suspicion. He's been made aware now that Rhodey's a Skrull. So there's that. Gravik came up with a plan with Rhodey to let the president know that the attack from the Russians was with the Skrulls' help. So they need to bomb a Skrull base in Russia, which would in turn start a World War III, and then they could take over from within inside. So it's always Skrull on Skrull attacks here and violence. It's kind of crazy still, but that's the plan on this one. Gravik's right-hand man, who was sent to find what they were looking for before when they found the DNA of the obsidian and stuff like that. I didn't know his name was Pagan. It made me laugh while I was watching it, but his name's Pagan. He was murdered in this episode for questioning Gravik on why they didn't kill Nick Fury. He said, "You've been in his attendance twice, and both times you've not killed him." Gravik's answer to that was, "We need to kill the president." Then he gave him the Groot arm and killed him. Brutal. Also, the rebellion from the Skrulls who work under Gravik all turned on him and tried to, the males of that group tried to take him out. And it ensued in a nice fight scene, which we don't get much action in Secret Invasion, not the action we're used to in Marvel, so it was good to see it. It was a lot more brutal than I thought it would be. It looked like they got the better of Gravik for a little bit. There was like 8-on-1, and then he started to use his powers. He went into a Skrull, he used his strength and stuff like that. And then the one guy, the young guy who was with him before, he sliced his throat in front of everyone, which I didn't think they'd show, and they did. He sliced his throat, so I thought that was pretty cool. Obviously, Fury's become the most wanted man around now because that video we saw in the previous episode of Rhodey showing Fury of him killing Maria Hill, it wasn't him killing Maria Hill. They've released it to the press, so now Nick's on the run. Gaia went to Nick's wife to get her dad buried because she would help him out, and then they were attacked as well, and it ensued in a little gunfight between them, which I thought was pretty cool. I love the action with it as well. Sonya tracked down the Daltons as well. The doctor murdered one of them. She was not playing around. I actually love Sonya's character in this. I think she does the prim and proper English thing, which is like that in real life anyway, and then goes into a savage real quick without changing character, and I really like that, so I thought that was cool. Obviously, within that attack, what we had with Pagan before, I come to find out that what Gravik was actually looking for in the first place wasn't what he got with Obsidian, which is, Groot's powers and stuff like that. He's actually looking for Avengers DNA. Later on in this, Sonya and Nick, they attend Fury's old grave, and he starts to explain to her that after the Battle of New York, blood was shed from the Avengers, and people were gone in there who, Skrulls, to collect the DNA of the Avengers, and Gravik was one of them, and now he wants it, and Nick was about to give it to him. There's a part where he lifts up his gravestone, and then we find out that the DNA thing what he's had was in the gravestone the whole time, and then you get this cool scene of him going into a lockup, pulls the eye patch back out, puts it on, leather jacket, walks out as Nick Fury, makes the phone call and said, "Let's finish this." Which I think the phone call was to Gravik. I did like the fact that Sonya questioned Fury, like, "Why have you not asked for the Avengers' help?" His excuse was that it's personal and stuff like that, which I guess they needed some way to explain it, but let's be honest. If it was real life, you just call Thor or someone, get it done with, and it'll be over. So I'm interested to see what happens next episode. I do believe when Sonya asked him, so with all that stuff you've just told me, you've come to this gravesite to collect the DNA, to give it back to Gravik, to end all of this. And he says yes. He's definitely lying. I think whatever is in that vial of Avengers DNA is an Avengers DNA. I think it's something that is powerful, but if you mix it with something that it's not supposed to, it's probably gonna ruin the person. You know that happens in a lot of movies. It's like, oh, give me the antidote, you give it them, they blow up because they use too much. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the DNA of like Hulk, because obviously, you know, Hulk can't control this. I got a thing in about that. But you guys let me know in the comment section, and I'll be back for the next episode. I think it might be the last one. I don't know how many episodes are in this actually, so I think I'm just begging it because it's only the 6 episodes. But I don't know. So I think you boys can comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.